What's cooking in Cindy's kitchen today? Well, today, if you remember, I'm a pasta girl. I am a pasta girl. And so keto is not the diet for me. It's just not the thing for me. I like all things bad, right? Bread, cheese, pasta, potatoes, all the white stuff. I like the white stuff. That being said, pepperoni was kind of hard to find for a while. Turn the furnace on to take the chill off. Oh, in Iowa, Kathy, I imagine. And so pepperoni was a little hard to find there for a while. And it's back. The pepperoni's back. So I decided since the pepperoni's back, we should celebrate the return of pepperoni to the grocery store. And so we're going to do a pasta bake. So we're going to do a lot of things here on the stove to get it ready. And everything is not from scratch. So I'm kind of cheating. It's almost homemade. I mean, it's made in my home, so there you go. But we're going to, just got back from a run from the grocery store, 60 in Oswego. Wow. You guys ought to come visit me. High of 91. I'm just saying. High of 91. Okay, so I'm going to move you so that you can see all the stuff over here. There we go. All right, so I have a pot right here. This pot is just boiling water. That's what I'm doing here in this one. I'm just boiling some water. And to that, as soon as we get the boil going, I have these little small shells, okay? Oh, Aurora's the same. These little tiny shells. Now, they have big shells, they have medium shells, but I like these little baby ones, okay? You can use whatever ones you have. You don't even have to use shells. You could use elbow macaroni if you so desire. You can do whatever you want. All right, so the water is, and I salted the water quite well. Salty water always with your pasta. Because remember, there's no flavor in pasta, right? Yeah, I bet you are thankful for the rain. All right, so I'm gonna put that in there. That is a 7.5 ounce package. So not a huge bag. You, of course, depending on how many people you're cooking for, do it however you want to. Now, in this pot, I'm gonna go ahead and start, and I normally wouldn't do this in two separate pots, but because I'm on a time crunch with you, I'm going to. I have a can. You can use any kind of spaghetti, canned or jarred spaghetti sauce you so desire. This is just the Hunt's traditional. So just plain old blah, blah, blah. We're gonna fix it, don't worry. Then I'm gonna add a can of petite diced tomatoes. And I drained the juice out of it. Petite diced tomatoes, in you go. Okay, those are my 2 cans. To this, I'm gonna add some sugar. Good morning. The pepper, good. I'm glad, Michelle. Oh, it's gonna be raining in Denton. Huh, well, there you go. If you use tiny little bowls for your salt and sugar, always a good idea to have different shapes. So my salt is in a square and the sugar is in a round because we don't wanna upset the apple cart. I'm gonna add about a teaspoon of sugar. Maybe a little, there we go. And part of that reason, and then I'm gonna turn this on, although this may be one of those that needs assistance. You know, when you've had a stove for 15 years, then things start going a little wonky, right? All right, so I'm gonna give this just a stir enough, just so we just put, hello Cheryl, good to see you. So just a can or a jar of whatever spaghetti sauce, and then a can of petite diced tomatoes drained, and about a teaspoon of sugar. I need another rest. Another spoon rest, I tell you. Okay, good morning, Nell from North Carolina. All right, now here I have and here's what I'm gonna do. I've got this on a medium-high heat. I'm gonna put a lid on it. Only because I could cook 12,000 things and nothing will bubble up and get sauce all over me, but tomato always does. So that's why I'm gonna put the lid on it, because I'm standing right over it, okay? But I just want that started to cook, and it'll start to cook down just a bit. All right, now I have a skillet. And again, like I said, I normally do it one at a time, but you're here. You're here. So there you go. All right, so in my skillet, we're gonna put in a little olive oil, okay? Wait, let me get her going. Okay. a little olive oil in the skillet, maybe a tablespoon or so. And I have, now, if you have a small onion, then I would use a whole onion. The onion I picked was huge, huge, I tell you. So this is a half of an onion that I've diced up. All right, so you see we got our olive oil in there. Lovely, lovely. Cheryl, it's so good to see you. I hope you're doing well. Okay, we'll just dump that in there. It'll start to sizzle in a bit. Okay, there's our onion. Now, of course, I'm going to season as I go, right? So, a teaspoon of, well, just a pinch. You know, pinches. You know me and pinches. A little salt and a little pepper. Why are we doing that? Most of you know that the reason why we're doing that is because we want the flavor, the liquid of the onions. We want them to sweat. Sweat. Isn't that icky? Because, you know, ladies don't sweat. We don't sweat. We glow. So maybe I don't want the onions to sweat. I don't know if the onions are boy onions or girl onions, but we want them to glow, okay? So this is a half of a large onion, or if you had a small onion, a whole onion diced up with just some salt and pepper, okay? We've got our pasta, our small shells over here in hot water. They're in hot water, baby. You're in hot water. And then in this one, we have a can of store-bought spaghetti sauce, a can of petite diced tomatoes drained, and a little bit of sugar, okay? So that's what we've got in here. Now, to my onions, hello Rika, good to see you. To our onions, I'm gonna add some garlic. Look, that's my roasted garlic. Whoops, that's not very good. Can you see? Can you see? There you go. That's my roasted garlic that I mashed up. Now, I'm using a lot more garlic. I'm doing great. How are you, Rika? Remind us where you're from. Hey, Joanne Sunshine. Hey, Carmel. Where are you from? Welcome. We're glad you're here. Now, you would probably use, I don't know, 2 or 3 cloves of roasted garlic. I'm probably using a lot more than that. But that's what I would suggest for you non-Kentucky. Well, welcome from Kentucky. I'm a, you know me, garlic hound. Now, if you don't have roasted garlic, why don't you have roasted garlic? I don't know. If you haven't made any roasted garlic, then you certainly can use raw garlic. Again, you want to chop it up very fine, mince it up before you put it in here, because you don't want that bite, right? You don't want that bite of garlic. Ooh, look at that. Yum. Okay. I know you shouldn't do this, but I'm gonna put the lid on it just so I don't get the heat from India. That's right, I do remember that. Good morning, Kimberly from Texas. Good to see you. Hi, Sherilyn. All right, so we've got our onions, we've got our garlic, a little salt and pepper. Now, you see how we're almost at a translucent stage. They're glowing. We could say sweating, but I'm going with glowing, okay? The garlic doesn't have to be in there just, so long. Now, I know that there's liquid in there. I know that there's butter in there, but we must go moo. Everybody moo. Let me hear your moos this morning. Moo. All right, so we are going to add 2 tablespoons of butter. Butter, I tell you. It's salted butter. Moo. Did you moo? Okay. I think that Joanne yesterday bought the baby moo. 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 The baby moo is a creamer. Isn't that cute? The cream comes out of the little nostril. Okay. All right, so we've added a little butter in here. Cindy, you already put olive oil in there. Thank you, Eileen, for the moo. Why do you want to add butter? Well, we're layering flavors. The olive oil has a good flavor, but we're layering flavors, and I'm about to dump in a bunch of mushrooms. Now, I've just taken a package of fresh mushrooms, and you don't have to use either this many mushrooms or mushrooms at all. If you're not a mushroom person, don't worry about it. It's all good. I am going to salt a little bit more on top of the mushrooms. Again, layers. We're wanting things to layer, okay? All right. Uh-oh, mushrooms flew. Flying shrooms, I tell you. We'll give it a toss just a bit. And if you can you see right there? Let me go down. If you can see right there, we've got just enough liquid, right? And actually the liquid is soaking all up. So we may need just a wee tad bit more butter, but we'll see. Mushrooms really, as you know, have no flavor of their own, which is why we start with the onions and the garlic first. And then we add the butter and then the mushrooms, because the mushrooms are going to soak up any of the flavors that we've added to it, okay? All right, so I'm going to set those there. I'll check and see if they need a little bit more butter in a little bit. All right, before we do that, I have a trivia question. Ready? Trivia question. This is all cooking. We can do trivia. You ready? Here's my trivia question. Oh, there we go. Hi, hello, hola, bonjour, guten tag, namaste, namaste, everybody. How do you say hello? Oh no, I'm just going. Okay, I'm gonna give you the lyrics to a song, okay? I was listening because, you know, every morning I sit and listen. You know, I tell her to play certain artists. And the other day I was listening to one, and I didn't remember this song came from them. It's a group, okay? So I'm going to give you the lyrics, and you tell me what group sang this song. Are you ready? There's a bad connection. Oh. If you can see everything, can you give me a thumbs up or a hearts? That's not good if we have a bad connection. Can everybody let me know? Can you see? Can you hear? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Well, we're getting hearts and okay. Joanne, maybe you need to go out and come back. I have never been to India, but I would love to go to India. India fascinates me, and I love Indian food. I do not cook it well, but I love it. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay. See, look how much our our mushrooms have cooked down. Okay, well then we're good. We'll go on with the trivia question. Here's the trivia question. I'm going to read the lyrics. You tell me which group sang this song. Here we go. I'm not going to sing it. I'm just going to say it. I'd like to be under the sea, in an octopus's garden in the shade. He'd let us in, know where we've been, in his octopus garden in the shade. I'd ask my friends to come and see an octopus garden with me. I'd like to be under the sea in an octopus's garden in the shade. Oh, Mary Beth got it. Mary Beth nailed it. Ringo, there you go. I wholly forgot that this was a Beatles song, and everybody knew it. Oh my gosh, you guys are so fun. I would love to come to India. I didn't even remember this song. And so I'm listening, and I'm like, everybody knew. Gosh, I feel like such a moron. I was like, I don't remember this song. And it was Ringo, right? Yeah, it was Ringo. I'd like to be in an octopus's garden in the shade. Oh, it was so funny. So funny. Hey, Sandy, I'm very impressed with all of you. And now I'm very underwhelmed with me. All right, look at this. Look, look, look. I'm tilting you again. Look at those shrooms. Are those beautiful? Look how much they've cooked down. And we didn't have to add any more liquid because the mushrooms have released their liquid. Look at that. Look how gorgeous that is. Oh, I wish you could smell. Woo, yum. All right, now to this. Uh-oh, pasta's boiling over. You guys aren't watching. All right, let me give this a stir. Just make sure nobody's sticking. There we go. All right, now to this, I'm going to go ahead and add about 3 tablespoons. This is chopped fresh parsley. Chopped fresh parsley. If you don't have fresh parsley, then maybe just, since I'm using 3 tablespoons, you probably only want to use a tablespoon of dry. So that's the rule of thumb when you're doing fresh versus dry herbs. If something calls for parsley and it says dry parsley 1 teaspoon, You can probably triple that with the fresh. But if it calls for fresh and you don't have fresh and your result is you have to use the dry, you use less, okay? Everybody probably already knew that. Probably not telling you something you didn't know. All right, so we've got our fresh parsley in there. Oh, and now the smell just kicked up a notch. Okay, my little blower is on, and I can't turn it off because it's too hot over here. All right, I'm gonna turn this down. Oh, it's boiling. It's boiling like crazy, I tell you. Well, we'll just use this one. All right. Okay, see? Look at that. There's our sauce. This is what we've got. And now to our red sauce, which is just, remember, a can of spaghetti sauce, a can of petite diced tomatoes drained, and some sugar. Because you know we need the sugar because the tomatoes have all that acid in it. Okay, we're just gonna pour. Oh, yum. I know I should have turned it the other way. I'm not that talented. Okay. Ta, turn that off. Ta and da. Oh, okay, look. Look. Oh, yum. All right, now we're gonna mix that up. Oh, see, this is good. Now, you could have added whatever you wanted to in here. You could have added some black olives. I got, they said no. But Cindy, this is supposed to be all about pepperoni. You're right. Where is my pepperoni? Oh, here we go. Okay, so this is about 5 ounces, or, you know, just chop up. You can use as much or as little as you want. Now, it depends on what kind of pasta you're using. I'm turning you this way. If you're using like the medium shells, then maybe just cut these in half, okay? But remember that I'm making the baby shells, the little tiny shells, and I'm putting that back on. Oh, that one is not the right one. Lids everywhere. Remember, I've got the little baby shells. And because I have the baby shells, I want things to be kind of similar sizes. And so I kind of quartered these. So I took them and I quartered them. You could leave them whole. The problem is, you know, if you've got a tiny little pasta and a big old pepperoni, right? So that's why I did this. So this is, it doesn't really matter what brand. If you don't like pepperoni, I don't know why you wouldn't, but if you don't like pepperoni or you can't eat it, if you feel like it's too greasy, I'm just dumping this in my sauce. If you feel like it's too greasy, then you can always substitute a turkey pepperoni. That would be fine. A turkey pepperoni is just peachy. Now, normally when I'm making a sauce, this is the point where I would add some butter, and it kind of finishes it, makes it shiny. But because I already added the butter when I was cooking the mushrooms, I'm not gonna do that. All right, so we're just gonna let the sauce cook just a little bit longer. I just want it to get a little thicker, and really, I'm just waiting for the noodles to cook. Let me see. Hello, noodle. Here's my arbob. Arbob, really big old bowl. Arbob. It's an artesian bowl, but I call it an arbob. Yeah, Polish pottery people. Oh, I'm gonna switch the thing so that you can see. There we go. Is that better? There you go. Now you can read. Cindy's Kitchen. Ta-da! Okay. All right. So we have our arbob, our really big old bowl, and then we're gonna take our pasta. See our little babies, our little baby shells. Again, you could use medium ones. You could use large ones. You don't want to use shells. You certainly don't. Use elbow macaroni. You could use little corkscrew pasta, whatever you have. I really don't want to make you go out and buy anything. And the same with the ingredients. So think about what you like on your pizza. Now we've got onions in here, but maybe you like peppers on your pizza. Maybe you like pepperoncini, like we did with our sandwiches the other day. Maybe you like those. You can certainly put that in here. black olives, green olives, whatever you like. Okay, now I'm gonna keep that just in case I'm gonna add some of the pasta water. We will see. All right, so that's all we have, just that. Now, I'm gonna go get my other. And here's our sauce, our saucy sauce. All right, and so in we go. Yum, yum, look at that, look at that. Mmm. Some of you, like I said, may not like mushrooms. That's fine. You don't have to use mushrooms. You could put spinach in here if you wanted. If you wanted to make it a little healthier, you could cut up yellow or zucchini squash. That would be good. Kalamata olives, yeah. So really, the sky's the limit. You can do what you want. All right, so we're gonna give this a stir. Yum, yum, look at that. All right, now we gotta add some cheese. Cheese, please. I'm going to open, this is just mozzarella cheese. Oh, I broke the little doodah. Well, that's okay, I think I'm gonna use all of it anyway. Don't you hate that? When you're trying to open the package and it's got the little resealer thing and you're trying to get it open and you finally get it open, but you realize you really didn't open it the correct way. You ripped it off and now it'll never reseal again, and oh, the problems we have in modern society. All right, so I'm gonna put about a cup. I may have to get my other one out. There we go. About a cup of shredded mozzarella in there. You can use a big shred or a little shred. If you have fresh mozzarella, I'm thinking about buying a cheese making kit and us making mozzarella on here. Would you guys like to see that? I don't know if you would or not, but I thought it might be cool. So if you say we should buy one, I'll buy one. So let me know. Say yes if you're interested in me buying one of those cheese making kits, and we'll make mozzarella. All right, then I'm gonna put just a little bit of parm in. Again, up to you. Maybe 2 or 3 good tablespoons in there. That parm is gonna give us a good salty flavor, right? Cheese, cheese, cheese. Oh, so the mozzarella is already making it look stringy. Oh, look at the stringy. So good. So good. All right. You could have also, if you don't like pepperoni, you could have also used, hamburger, Italian sausage, ham, whatever you like. All right. Now, this recipe calls for a 9 by 13, and you certainly can use a 9 by 13 dish. I have this lovely round baking dish, and it's 12 inches across. It's only 1 inch or 2 deep. Well, I don't know. Yeah, 2 inches deep. But I think we'll be okay. So I'm gonna bake in this. Oh, okay, so you guys are interested. Okay, good, good. So take your baking dish. Again, you're probably using a 9 by 13, and that's fine. And give it a spray. One of the things I love about Polish pottery is, you see how white this is, right? You see how white this is? And you're going, you can't put red sauce in, so it'll stain. No, Polish pottery never stains. Never, never, never. All right, our Bob is gonna be dumped in here. Oh, the cheese. Oh, the onions, the garlic. Oh, so good. The fresh parsley. I could have added some fresh basil too. I did not, but I certainly could have. Oh, and the only reason I didn't is because I was too lazy to walk outside and get some off the plant. That's bad. Bad, Cindy. Bad, bad. Maybe I should get some just for the top. Okay, so we have this here. I'm gonna take another little bit of parm. And mozzarella. Now, this is up to you. A lot of people like a thick kind of cheese crust on the top. So let me know if you are a thin layer. I like a thin layer. I don't want to have to cut through cheese, right? Tell me, are you a thin layer of cheese on the top, or do you like that thick, like it's almost like a creme brulee, where you got to take your fork and bang on the top to get through the crust? That's kind of what I feel like with, a whole lot of cheese on top. So are you a thick or a thin? And then again, just a wee bit of parm on the top as well, okay? La, 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 la. Okay. Oh, look how pretty that is. Thin, thin, medium. I knew you would be difficult. Okay, now I tell you what. Jessica ran outside to the bush and got the bush. Not like the bush, but you know, the bush. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and put a few of these on top. Okay, and quite frankly, I'm not even gonna cut them. The more the better. Okay, well, I'm not gonna cut. I'm gonna do this. La 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 la. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that gorgeous? Now, we're not gonna be able to taste this before we leave. But that being said, watch. Watch me do this. Because we can taste it. Why? Because everything is already cooked. Oh, I want that mushroom. Everything is already cooked. So it doesn't matter. We're just making everything meld together. So I'm gonna taste. Just so you know, I'm not steering you wrong into icky food. You wouldn't think, you wouldn't think that they're already melded together, the flavors as well as they are. Now I'll fix this. Do you do that like you've made a cake? You want to taste it? Got to fix the edge so nobody knows you were there. All right, 350 degrees for about 20 minutes. This is just that, you find it in your freezer section, that toast, you know, garlic, cheese toast. This has like some kind of cheese and garlic butter on there. Oh, I'll probably get in trouble for that. All right, that being said, you want to taste. Okay, Lancey, you can taste. Okay, so this is easy to find. And quite frankly, I use these a lot just because it's a down and dirty, let's have some bread. Yes, you could use Italian sausage, Gail, of course. And of course, when I'm eating pasta, this is so bad of me, but I like something to sop with. My grandfather used to always sop the syrup with his biscuit. He liked to use the biscuit to sop with. I don't know. I'm big on, well, how do you get the bowl clean? You got to have enough bread left to wipe all the sauce off of the bowl. So there you go. And just to keep with the theme, I thought, well, you know what? We got pepperoni going. Let's just keep it going. So pepperoni, a little greasy. I'm just going to put 2 on each one. Can you still see? I think you can still see. The pasta bake's easy, or the pepperoni bake. And the reason I wanted to do that is because if you're cooking for a family, it's a great thing because you can use a huge thing of pasta, and as much as you want. You can make it as big as you want. If you want to make it smaller, it's easy to do as well. You know, use like a half a cup of pasta of whatever kind you want, right? You certainly could do gluten-free pasta, right? And again, like I said, if you don't want pepperoni, you could use turkey pepperoni. I know, it's I like pepperoni bread. And so, you know, how different. And it's just 2 pieces. And I like that because then if I cut it in half, I have 1 piece on each side. You know, I like everything to be equal and even. And there it is, pretty. Look at that. The directions on the box say, I think 425 for, I don't know, 10 or 15 minutes. But you guys know how to make this. Just follow the directions. I just thought I'd give you an idea just to keep it all themed, if you will. So tomorrow, I'm going to be doing a couple of recipes with microgreens, with these little doodahs. I don't know how it tastes. I've never had these before. So we'll see. Anyway, there she is behind me, telling you to go to YouTube, okay? So I'll make sure and post the recipe and the pictures in a little bit. As soon as that comes out of everything comes out of the oven. And then tomorrow we'll be working on microgreens. Don't forget that next Monday is our 150th show. 150 shows we've done since we started in March. Very cool. Can't wait to see you guys tomorrow. So from my kitchen to your kitchen, I hope your day is filled with the spicy, yummy flavors of pepperoni. And we will see you tomorrow again at 11 o'clock. Have a great day. Bye-bye, guys.